Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Matt's Modded Let's Play. It's been a few days since I've last played, due to getting Diablo 3, kind of a bit of a distraction, I'll have to admit. And now, today we are going to be starting on some Buildcraft stuff. So we're going to need a stack of that. And also going to need a good amount of that and a nice amount of wood as well. Let's go for a full stack and get some glass as well. So as you remember, you place there. I always place it there to learn it, but you can place it anywhere else, and then you do that, and then you place it in the middle there, because I've got 32 AMC, which means I should get half a stack of glass. Perfect. So let us go over here. Drop off a single piece of that, and then we will head outside and start with our stuff. Now let's see, we're going to need some more gold, if I remember correctly. Yep, we're going to need a full amount of 16 gold, and we have only 4 iron. That could be a problem. I need a fair more amount of iron, so once the gold's cooked up we shall do the iron, but first let's get some of the building materials together for the rest of it. Now what we're going to be making today is going to help with our resource production, and for that we're going to need a mass amount of sticks. Now I can't imagine needing more than 16 of them. As you can see there, if you place 4 sticks in a circle like that, you get a gear, which is the very basic amount of the Buildcraft items. Appear in that pig. And then there are various layers of, or levels of gears, and they start off with wooden, and then you place a whole stack of cobblestone, and then you place cobblestone around the gears itself, and you get stone gears. I'm going to need more upgraded versions of them, but first off I know I'm going to need 7 the other items, so we'll keep the other 9, which I'm going to need 4 for definite as stone gears, and then gold's done, so we've got all 16 gold. I need to wait for the iron. Now, first things first, we are going to need to make a few bits. So let's get the wood out of here, and let's hope I can remember the basic vanilla recipe. Now everything in Buildcraft has to be done powered by an engine, and the engine's most basic component is a piston. Oh, thank God I remembered how to make them. Okay, now there are various layers of engines, as you can see here. There's the redstone engine, there's steam engine, and there's a combustion engine, and forestry adds 3 more types of engines, which we'll get onto later on. Now, basic redstone engine is the slowest, and it produces the least amount of energy, and it's also going to be very slow for what we need. So instead I'm going to be making 2 of these steam engines, which uses coal as a or charcoal as a fuel source, and once you apply redstone signal to it, it turns it on, and it is significant. I'm not sure of the exact numbers of how much faster, but it is faster than a redstone engine. So as you can see, I need cobblestone, glass, 2 stone gears per one, and a piston. So I'll put the little arrow there to get to that, or question mark. So we'll place 2 there, 2 there, we'll place the 2 there, 2, 2, 2. See, there's that there. Now I do believe this should be a good time to make a new item for Buildcraft. It requires a stone gear, see there, and 3 iron ingots. See, iron's going to be very important for all of this, to create a wrench. Now there are various sorts of wrenches with the different mods. Now this one is for Buildcraft because it helps reorientate engines and pipes and various other bits that we'll get onto. And speaking of pipes, if you place cobble and glass, you get these cobblestone transport pipes. Now these are used to transport items from either an inventory like a chest to items such as the electric furnace, the macerator, and back again. There are various different layers of pipes, wooden pipes, iron pipes, cobblestone pipes, smooth stone pipes, gold and diamond pipes. There is also waterproof and electrical current equivalent of all of them. We're going to need a fair amount of them, so I will make a good 2 stacks of them. And my math's really rusty. We'll also make, while we're here, 16 wooden ones as well. Okay, now there's one other component we're going to need besides the gears, and for the new item we're going to be making, and it is a diamond pickaxe. Now anyone who's played Buildcraft before will know that I am going for one of these, a quarry, which basically allows us to mine huge areas of the land, and it is user definable, so you can make it as wide as or as large as you want, but it does make it longer to mine per layer, and it goes all the way down to bedrock. But there is a default size which I believe I'm going to be using for now because I don't have the necessary resources yet to make the expanded version. You see, I need a piece of redstone, I need some iron gears, some golden gears, and some diamond gears, and as you can see I need a diamond pickaxe as well. So very, very expensive recipe. If you remember, each gear was surrounded by 4 of a particular resource, so I'm going to need 8 diamonds plus the 3 for the pickaxe, 11 diamonds. This is very, very expensive recipe. It's also very expensive on the iron because all 7 gears here need to be iron gears, because then you have to upgrade them from iron to gold and then from gold to diamond. So I need 16 gold, I'll need a stack of iron if not slightly more, and 8 diamonds. So as you can see, this is a very, very expensive recipe, but when you think about how much or how many resources you can get out of this, it is very much worth it. Okay, so I need about half a stack, not quite so much. So if you remember the recipe, I needed 3 iron. I'm going to need to make the 4 golden because I need to make 2 of them into diamond gears, and that's now me officially out of diamonds. So we put the diamond pickaxe at the bottom with 2 diamond gears. On top of that there are 2 golden gears. We place the 3 iron gears as that, and we get our quarry. Now while I'm here, I'm also going to make myself a couple of them, so I can get that. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to need, and if I have enough wood for it, I don't. It's always typical. And would you believe that? The sun is going down already. So I'll need, nope, wood. Aha! So I'll quickly make up another iron chest. As you remember, it is a standard chest surrounded with 8 iron. Now this is going to be where, for now, I'm going to store the initial output of items. And hopefully, we should get a nice haul from this first lot. And now I need to go in the morning and figure out where exactly I'm going to be placing this environment destroying machine. I think over the other side of that river there would be a good place, because I know all the caves I've explored so far have been around here, so hopefully around there should be a nice amount of untapped resources, which should hopefully eventually make up for how much I just had to spend on building it. So, of course we need to head over and pray I haven't forgotten anything. Right, so let's find a good place to place this. Do I want to grab some basalt? Nope. So for now, I think I want to make just a tiny platform like that. Place that down there. As you can see, this little, I suppose, electrical tape box, I think it's probably a good way of, or good thing to call it. This electrical tape box marks where the quarry is going to mine. So all the way down here, all the way in this box, it's going to mine from here all the way down to bedrock. And then I need my 2 engines. I'm going to need just a little bit more dirt, because like the noob that I am, I didn't come with any. Didn't come with a single piece of building. Oh, I did come with building blocks. And again, like the noob that I am, remember it now. As far as I'm aware, you don't need wooden pipes to extract stuff out. If you had a chest and you wanted to pull items out of it, you'd need to use a wooden pipe and an engine like a redstone engine or a steam engine to pull the items out one at a time and move them into another inventory. But as we don't particularly need to do that, I will just use my cobblestone pipes. And as you can see, you do it like this. You can make any pattern you want, and you can also place the chest directly below the pipe and you can still open it. Okay, nice double chest worth. So, let's turn it on, and I am doing a deliberate mistake here. As you can see, I've turned both on and nothing is happening. I wonder why that is. Now, if you remember, I made steam engines and not the basic redstone engines, and as such I'm being pushed around by a pig. I don't like getting pushed around by bacon, because I'll fall down the hole soon and die. As you can see, they require some fuel source. So if you place in, put in half a stack of coal for now. So you place in a stack of coal and turn them on, and as you can see, the little particle effects, and they are producing something. And look at that. Like I said, bloody pigs. Okay, and as you can see here, the little machine here is building the frame for the quarry. And once that's completely created, it will create a little digging arm, and it will slowly dig away down to bedrock. Now, we shall leave that and come back and look at that when it's done. Because the next step I want to do is I want to create a new equivalent exchange item, or set of items, which are going to help with if I ever need to do any emergency resourcing. Now, those slimes do have the occasional chance of dropping something for Thorncraft. However, they never seem to drop anything. Alright, so I need to look up. Here we go. Covalence dust. Now these are sort of advanced dusts used in industrial craft that have, not industrial craft, sorry, equivalent exchange that have mystical powers. As you can see, you get a lot per recipe. However, the last one does require a diamond, and as I don't currently have any diamonds, I'll only be able to make the dust for the first two. However, these things are useful for, as you can see, a hell of a lot of stuff. And they can be used to repair, for example, diamond stuff. So the last lot of covalence dust can do that. And then it's iron stuff for the covalence dust, because you use iron to make it, you use diamonds to make that. And of course, if you use the cobblestone to make that, you'd assume that it's leather and wood and stone. So all the basic tools is that, and then it gradually moves up. Which means I'm going to need, I've already got redstone, I've already got iron, I've already got that, which means I need coal, and I'm going to need, I have any, yep, I have some of that. So let us come out my front door, get out here, aha, I've managed to run it out of power. So what we shall do is add some more in. I'll add them seeds in there for now. I know I was keeping this for gems, it's sort of just become a junk box. Okay, so what next? As you can see, not good at thinking on my feet. That reminds me, I need the charcoal first. So I need to place charcoal in that corner, and then I believe it's 8 to get 40 of the first covalence dust. And then it's, what is it? It's 1 redstone and 1 iron to get that covalence dust. Now, these covalence dusts can be made for various things. However, the one thing they can be used for, this is one of the most useful things. If you surround a stick in the middle with the first layer of covalence dust, you get what's known as a divining rod. Now this, when you click on an area, will give you a rough value rating of the area. And I don't believe it's using any fuel. As you can see here, look, you get, there's one here, and the value around here was 6, which means around here somewhere there should be something of a slight value. However, doing that, it only got a very, very, very tiny range. So as such, if you place your level 1 divining rod and surround it with the second layer of, or the second level of covalence dust, you get the second divining rod. Now this one has a bit more of a better range, and if I'm not mistaken, this one does use fuel. As you can see, my redstone's gone down from 36 to 35 and down to 34. Okay, and you can see the values. So 85 suggests maybe copper or tin. Probably be copper, actually, thinking about the value of that. So there's probably some sort of copper within a few blocks up or down here. Now when you get the third layer of covalence dust, you can upgrade it a third time and produce something that can, if I'm not mistaken, Travel for 32 or 64 blocks. So you can do some proper deep excavation for diamonds and gold and various other bits as like that for just a small amount of glowstone or redstone. Now, look, as you can see here, all the items travelling to here. Now, I'm going to be using something for this dirt, and it's eventually, because I don't plan on having all that kind of dirt. Now, as you can see, look here, all of this is being dug out, and it will keep going all the way down to bedrock. Now, there is a couple of exceptions. It will dig through water, but if it runs into lava, it will dig around the lava. Which means you can have, if you run into a lava pocket towards the bottom, or a massive lava lake, you can end up having nice holes developing, or nice gaps in your nice, very clean and long mining hole. And as such, I find it a good idea, I'm not the only one that does this, I know, to use water to cover the hole. And because you used a diamond pickaxe to make it, it can mine everything, and that includes obsidian. Which means that we can put water down there, and we get a nice amount of obsidian if we do run into lava. Now I'm going to need them. I'll place. Now, as you might have noticed, it's only been running for not even a full day, and it had already nearly filled up 2 entire stacks worth of dirt. And of course, once it gets down below, I like to say the dirt layer, but once it gets below where dirt is, then it will start to fill up with cobblestone. But as you can see, look here, nearly a 3rd layer. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to split into 3 chests. Now, for now, there is a pipe you can use to sort all this, but for now, as I don't quite have the resources yet, I'm just going to split like this, and it will evenly split between the 2 chests. I just want to sort out, make sure that they get a nice even, more or less even split, and then it will split it all between the 3, and I'll get 3 double chests worth. And I do believe if it runs into a crystal like that, it does pick up the actual crystals themselves, but I'm not 100% sure if it does actually pick them up or not, especially if they are submerged in water. But we shall soon find out when it gets to it, which shan't be too long from the looks of it. Let's have a look. As you can see here, it's nearly used, well, it's on its 7th coal now, and it's already gone down 3 layers and built the machines. So hopefully that should get us at least, I would have hoped, about halfway down. Now the good thing about this particular mining laser is you can stand pretty much right in front of it and it will not actually harm you. Just do that just in case, and then from, I shall wait just 2 minutes, collect that up, see whether or not it actually collects. Shit, go down the hole. See whether it actually collects or not. As you can see, look, brings all the cobblestone, and it's still separating them up into the 3 bits. When we look at that, it did actually mine up and pick up the crystals. I'm not 100% sure if it will actually do that. Now, hopefully, if I mine this block out myself and place the water there, hopefully, if I've done this properly, I should be able to cover with 2 more buckets of water. I should be able to completely cover that top layer that I've just gone through, and it should flood Yep, I was right. Alright. As you can see, it is now completely flooding the area, which means any lava that comes under there should instantly get turned to obsidian, and we should hopefully get a nice set of obsidian as well, which I can then use later on for various other bits and pieces. So I'm going to leave that to run and see how far down I can get with the coal I've got left. Now, before I wrap up, I want to talk about a good way of storing energy to use outside of the transmutation table. And once again, there are zombies down here trying to break into my underground chamber that is yet to be used yet. Okay, so where are we? Oh, I do have lapis. I could have done more. Okay, so at the moment, as you know, when you make energy in here, it's literally and it is locked normally to matter, which means you can't, for example, if I had some, put in coal or redstone or uranium and make that. However, if I make a special item that is in the Buildcraft so it's in the equivalent exchange mod, getting tongue tied. Now it requires your philosopher's stone in a crafting grid and stacks of coal, and it requires 4 coal. I do believe it's completely shapeless in the crafting grid. I always put it in the square, it's easier. And you get this alchemical coal, which is like a upgraded version of normal coal. So we get 16 of them. Now if you do this again, and the neat thing about alchemical coal is it does turn back into normal coal if you put it into the crafting bench. So if we put 4 in the grid again, as with the philosopher's stone, again we get what's known as Mobius fuel. And then if we do the Mobius fuel once more, we get Eternalus fuel. I do believe that's how you pronounce it, Eternalus, but one of those tricky words. But no, I need the Mobius fuel for now. And as you can see, the Mobius fuel is worth 2,000, so the same as the diamond. Now for simplicity's sake, I'm going to say I'm going to cheat, but I am going to make it nice and easy so I can get a nice amount of, so I can get this particular item before I have to go. Now if you place 8 of the gems from red power 2 equals enough to get 1 whole diamond. So it's pretty good, bearing in mind what you can make. With 9 you can make a pickaxe that does, well, you can make 3 pickaxes which have exactly the same durability as 3 diamonds. So it's probably a worse deal, but they're useful. Now, the biggest problem we've got here is, as you can see, I can't turn one into the other, can I? So, I didn't think I'd need quite so much. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to use some uranium. Now, if you remember of last time, one of the times before, when I tried to burn uranium, I didn't realise it was a fuel, which would have made sense as you use it as a fuel source. So 49,000, and if you remember, Mobius fuel, if I do it right, it's worth 2,000, so I should be able to get a nice amount of Mobius fuel. 28. Very, very nice. So what you do is, you take your Mobius fuel and you make a square, as you would with a furnace or chest or like that, and you place a diamond into the middle to get what's known as a Klein star ein. And with the ein number, if anyone knows German, you can probably guess that ein is means 1 in German, which means it's in the first level here, and there are more and more levels that go up, but they do get exponentially more expensive, and they can be learned by transmutation table. But here's the impressive thing: see all this Mobius fuel, place it into the transmutation table, and as you can see here, look, there's a little bar. That's not a durability bar, that's an energy level bar. And as you can see, look, this transmutation here is locked into the fuel mode. However, if I take out the Klein star, and it retains all the EMC and it's drained it all out of the transmutation table, place it back into the transmutation table, and suddenly there's no lock. So I can make another Klein star, I can make emeralds, rubies, diamonds, more pork chops, obsidian, iron, anything. So this is a way of doing it, regardless of whether or not you've got fuel or matter or whatever. Burn it into a transmutation table with a Klein star inside it, pull the Klein star out, it's stored all the energy inside itself, and hasta la vista, you can make anything else from anything else. And just like the sun going down now, I do believe this is the sunset of this particular episode. Had a good one today, made the start of a nice resource gathering quarry, done a little bit of equivalent exchange, making a divining rod and a almost fully charged already Klein star. So this is Matt, and I shall see you all next time.